Hello and welcome back to Umineko. I was
I
just I was just talking about this with Rena, but I'm gonna point it out here. In Beatrice's portrait, like you can fully see her nipples. Like you can fully see them. Why did Kinzo have that? Why did Kinzo do that?
those who know.
Like just you could. Oh wait. Oh, you could just fully see her nipples through her dress. I'm like, what the fuck? I just I just noticed I just noticed it because I have it on this like big TV screen, and like I was doing something like on like the table I hold the TV, and like I glanced up and I was like, wait a second, I can see a little protrusion right there. Okay, anyway, I know last time we kind of ended abruptly. That's because I didn't realize.
Well, we also reading for a long time.
Yeah, we were reading for a long time, and I was like, okay, it's obviously gonna take much longer before we get to an organic stopping point, so we're just gonna need to cut it here.
hmm
So we're gonna hop back in and resume where we've been reading. Yeah, we're in the flashback. We're in the flashback of Angie talking to Maria. looks like you're having fun, Maria One-chan.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Even things that would be lonely and boring alone, all become fun with Sakutaro. Any human friend would have to go home when it gets late. But Sakutaro doesn't go home, so we can be together all the time. He'll watch TV with me, be together even in the futon, and even hold my hand on scary nights when there's thunder. He'll chase away the monsters in the closet and under the bed. Sakutaro is reliable.
Since I'm a lion, I'll show you my courage and chase away any monsters that scare Maria. That's the voice I was doing, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Roar!
You might end up changing it.
Huh?
You might end up changing it in a little bit.
Is this about to go full horror movie style? Like,
No, no.
they were so close that it made me a little envious. I'm supposedly old. I'm supposedly older now than Maria One-chan was then. What's it? Why is it supposedly? You are. Maria
She's
One-chan.
not sure. She's not. She's like age regressing, so that makes her age kind of debatable.
Maria One-chan really is my One-chan, and I still haven't reached her level. If only I had a friend close by like Sakutaro.
Sakutaro and I are close friends, right? We're always by your side.
Close friends tell you to kill your parents. Do it! Like, oh my god.
Her parents are already, you know.
Yeah, I know, but still, let me make the joke.
It's just that your magic is weak, so you can't perceive us unless you open my diary like this.
God, I can't remember what show it was that this was. It may have been like a Family Guy or a show like that, or it may have been Robot Chicken. I can't remember. But I think of it constantly, and it's like this kid. He's like playing Bop It, and like it's just like Bop It, twist it, pull it, take out the gun, shoot the man, hide the weapon. It's like like along those lines. It was fucking insane, but I really liked that joke. It stuck with me for this long. Okay. Steve, you know some pretty difficult words, Maria One-chan. According to her, this world is full of magic and spirits, and they're as natural and nearby as a light breeze.
You don't normally notice or see the wind, but when incense smoke or something draws trails, you can see it, right?
Right. And even if you can't see it, it's always nearby.
That's it. We're always really close by to you, Angie. Gods and spirits and guardian spirits are always right next to us. But if you aren't conscious of them, you can't feel their existence. like wind that can't be seen with the eyes. But they certainly are near us, and if they draw trails in the smoke called magic, anyone can see them.
I'm worried that it's gonna be like some. I don't want to say schizophrenia because I don't know if this is like an actual thing with schizophrenia, but like I just really feel like Maria's just gonna take a hard right turn and it's just gonna be like, take that knife, do it, do it. It's just like it's just like hearing voices like Again, I'm not sure if like that's a specific thing with schizophrenia. Really, all I know about schizophrenia comes from the game Hellblade,
Mm-hmm.
which like which is a great game and it was like created by with like in cooperation with people with like psychosis and schizophrenia and like experts on that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good game. I need to finish it and I need to get a better computer so I can play the sequel.
You're pretty familiar with a probably schizophrenic person, so I'd say you have more than that to go off of.
Oh, perfect. I thought I'd only be able to meet Maria One-chan while this diary is open. From what she says, she's always with me, and I can meet her at any time if I truly desire to. Oh my god, I know you were saying that like Angie, Angie definitely has like DID or something, but oh my god.
Along with a record of my life, I left a fragment of my own soul in my diary. So the power of my life resides in this diary. But it's very faint, so only you can feel it.
Only I can tell it's there?
Yes, after all, the power of a witch resides in you, just like me. If you study hard, you too will definitely become a great witch in the future.
A witch. I wonder if that'd be fun. It's not.
It is fun. If you do that, you'll be able to know that Sakutado and I are always by your side, even without opening the diary.
And you'll find out who killed your parents. What?
If you do that, every day will become fun. If you do that, I'll introduce you to many other friends. If you do that, every day will get busy and very lively.
I'll introduce you to other friends, like Satan. I remember, yeah, I know Satan is one of the seven sisters. I was talking about like actual Satan.
Mm-hmm.
I said
Yeah.
I wanted to make the joke, but then I remembered there's a character named Satan in this already.
Mm-hmm.
That might be fun. I do have the grimoire you left behind, Maria One-chan. I'll try reading it seriously sometime soon. If I do that, I won't be all alone anymore. Oh no, right? Ah shit, I've seen I just watched the new Nosferatu, and like the person.
Oh, I want to see that with my mom. We're planning on going.
It's so good. It's so good. And basically the impetus. Is this a spoiler?
I don't really care.
Okay. Skip. This might be a spoiler, so if you care about that, skip forward a bit, like 30 seconds, maybe in a minute. But basically the impetus is this girl was lonely, so she reached out using her spirit powers to try and make a friend, and that ended up being Nosferatu. So like I've seen this before. This is not gonna end well. Don't do it, Angie.
I also got lonely and reached out using my spirit powers a long time ago.
When I'm lonely and reach out using my spirit powers?
Yeah. Common thing that happens.
Common Tuesday night, just an everyday Tuesday night for me. Anyway, you want to hit that ooh real quick?
Ooh.
Oh dear. Maria One-chan and Sakutaro said that at the same time. Happy that I developed an interest in the world of witches. Like, is this a cult or... With her knapsack on her back and half of Sakutoro's face peeking out of it, she triumphantly walked through the shopping district late at night. Well, it was that time of day after all. Late at night. Everyone in the shopping district was either a shop owner lowering the shutters in their shops, or an employee rushing or else staggering on their way home. I saw that, Maria, who was in a good mood like someone on a hike. Oh, speak for yourself. I hate I hate most outdoor activities. I'm not built for it. um, probably look quite merry. Every once in a while, passing employees would glance at her back with the eyes of someone seeing something out of place. It's a little kid with carrying her stuffed animal. How's that out of place?
Maybe at the time of day.
Still, it's Japan. It's Japan. That's
Yeah.
Office ladies giggled at the cute stuffed animal poking its head out of the knapsack. Thank you, office ladies. The supermarket had been closed for a while by this time. However, convenience stores, which have been growing in popularity lately. Sorry, I don't know why that line really. I don't know why that line makes me laugh.
It's pretty funny.
Stayed open until midnight. Damn, not even 24/7. It's very convenient for Maria. His mother's return was often late. Oh shit, what they got? Okay. Trying to see if I can. Oh, we got some ramen over here. Jeez, where's my mouse? Got some ramen over here. What are they? I'm trying to see if there's like obvious like parody foods.
There's
Because you know how there's like Pocky, but they can't say Pocky, so it's Pucky or something like that. Let's see. What do we see? Goma? Wait. Goma Tasto. That's taste. That's katakana, that's just taste.
Yeah. I was gonna say I know, but then I realized there are other people who will hear this.
Yeah.
I often forget that there are other people who will hear this.
Oh, we got. I'm just distracted by this artwork now. Like, oh, we got some. I'm assuming these are electric kettles for when you buy your cup ramen. Are these supposed to be like those truffle things, like Lindor chocolate truffle things?
Could be.
Anyway, Maria lowered the knapsack from her back and carrying it like a child in her arms, she headed over to the sweet buns corner. She pointed to a sweet bun she had eaten before, explaining to Sakutaro this one was delicious, and that one was pretty good too. If someone's gonna give her sauce for this, I'm gonna be so upset. Like, I don't know when the age cutoff is, but like if I can tell they're a child and they're like talking to the stuffed animal, I'd be like, that's adorable. Like, I don't think I'm gonna be like, see a 10-year-old talking to the stuffed animal and be like, look at this fucking nerd. This freak.
Yeah.
Sakutaro seemed to be enjoying it a lot.
Damn, even if I saw like
a grown
like,
man.
If I saw anyone with a stuffed animal, I'd just mind my own business.
Yeah, just like, good for you, man. You're living your best life. Grown man with male pattern baldness, good for you.
I'm gonna have the 3-colored one. With just this one, you can eat bean jam and cream and strawberry jam. But there's sometimes greenish brown bean jam or white bean jam. There should be one kind of bean jam.
For you. Looks like having different things inside makes them interesting. For you. How much am I gonna regret this voice for Sakutaro?
You can change it anytime you want.
No, I might, but like, how much am I gonna regret this voice?
You're not.
I'm not?
I don't think. I don't know. At least I wouldn't. I don't really regret things. Next, I'll have a fruit yogurt. There's fruit in it, but it isn't a sweet, right? Yeah, I'm sure Mama will be fine with it. Do you want one too, Sakutaro?
Or do you? Is that really okay? What about the money?
No problem. Look, it's Shotoku Taishi.
I'm sure that would mean something.
So I can buy you whatever you want too, Sakutaro.
Hold on, what's Shotoku Taishi? I'm gonna look that up. Shotoku Taishi. Oh, it's a politician. That's the first thing that came up. I just looked up Shotoku Taishi, and the first thing is it like just autocorrected like, oh, you want the politician? What the fuck? Why is this? wait, this is. Yeah, all I'm getting is what is it? He was a prince, a powerful Japanese regent who ruled from 592 until his death in 622 Common Era during the Asuka period of Japan. Shotoku and his aunt, Empress Suiko, rose to power through a series of imperial deaths and conflicts between the Soga clan, of which they were a part, and the rivalrous Mononobe clan.
Heck if his likeness is printed on money.
Oh, maybe that would make sense. I'm gonna look up Shotoku Taishi yen. Oh yeah, banknote. It's the 10,000
There you
yen
go.
note. It's the 10,000 yen note. So how much is 10,000 yen? Yen to USD. In nowadays money, 10,000 yen's like 63 bucks.
Wow.
Okay, there has to be something different here. Who fucking cares? Why am I getting so distracted about this?
Let's eat together. Would you like some yogurt too, Sakataro?
When Maria made to grab another one of the same fruit yogurt, Sakataro bent his head slightly, worried. Or do you? I can't eat the bigger one, so a small one will be fine. Oh, look at it! I've never seen that sprite before. That's so cute.
Then how about a small yogurt? It's 30 yen. That's cheap.
Yeah, that's cheap.
Really cheap.
That's fucking insanely cheap. Oh my god. And that's nowadays that's extremely cheap. I wonder how cheap it was back in the 80s. Or do you? That's good enough for me. Yogurt with Maria.
Yogurt with Sakataro.
Maria put the 3 colored bread and the 2 yogurts into a shopping basket and brought them to the register. The man running the register had been in charge of the tobacco shop that had been here until last year. I seem to be seeing you a lot this time of day, little lady. Why is that my go-to generic man voice? It's Rudolph's voice. You're a good girl, but maybe you'd better come with your mother if you're going to go shopping at this time in the future, okay?
Mama said it's okay, so it's fine. Mama always comes home late because of her work, but we aren't lonely.
Okay, Maria, just spell it out. We have a spare key under the mat.
Right, Sakutaro?
Hello. Really, that sounds tough. Here, I'll give you some free soda. Hell yeah! The man working at the store took a can of leftover soda or something from behind the register and packed it into the bag with everything else.
Thank you, mister. Isn't that great, Sakutaro?
Or do you? Since she had been told not to buy soda, she couldn't take it back home. She decided to drink it on her way back and not bring the empty can back home. With the vinyl bag with the sweet bun, just reminding everyone that this is a game about brutal murder.
This is a game about a lot more than brutal murder.
I mean, yeah, but there's lots of brutal murder in it.
Yeah.
It's just so funny to remember that when we're having this, like, what's that? Isn't there, like, a TV show that, like, documents, like, Japanese toddlers going on their first errand?
Is there? Wow.
Because that's, like, a thing in Japan. Like, people are just way, way okay with just being like, alright, 5-year-old, here's some money. Go down to the store and get me this. Which, to be fair, safe country. It's a pretty fucking safe country. With the vinyl bag with the sweet bun in it around her elbow, holding the knapsack with Sakutaro in it with the same arm and drinking her soda, the two of them walked home.
Yusupasho soda isn't really good. You want to try it too, Sakutaro?
You You're mean, Maria. Nasty.
It sure is.
Of course, it's not like she could actually make a stuffed animal drink soda. She just put the can to Sakataro's mouth and pretended to tilt it. But it was fun for Maria to share the taste of this weird drink that she had gotten for free with Sakataro. There was a huge moon in the sky. At times, that moon had been clouded by tears when she'd been unmanageable during Rose's overnight stays, and when she'd been scolded by her mother. This moon was very warm, and it seemed to watch over the two of them as they enjoyed their trip home by themselves. Maria and Sakataro. Angie watched the two of them go from behind. They looked so warm from behind. After looking at the backs of Maria One-chan and Sakataro together, it became very hard to remember all of those long nights when she cried because her mother hadn't come home. I couldn't say it to Maria One-chan, but if I'd been in the same position, I may have given a stuffed animal the name Sakataro. Sakataro. Yeah, that the U, I had to elongate that last syllable. But it would have been anything more or less than a stuffed animal. Anyone can make a relationship that only distracts you from your loneliness. But Maria One-chan was different. Sakataro isn't a stuffed animal or a toy. He was a real friend. And far from just distracting Maria from her loneliness, he changed the nights without her mother into a fun time where they could play all by themselves. Was it because Sakataro was a special stuffed animal? Because her mother had made it herself? Because it was very, very cute? I have to agree. This is a fucking adorable stuffed animal. I kind of want to make this. Probably not. If there's a secret here, it doesn't lie within Sakataro. I think it probably lies within Maria One-chan. This is the power of magic you were talking about, Maria One-chan.
Knowing magic means that you notice a lot of friends right beside you that you didn't notice before. It's as fun as having a bunch of new toy shops pop up all over the neighborhood.
If even I, locked up in an academy without a single friend, had a power like Maria One-chan, I wonder if I can make my days just a bit richer. You know, if I had a nickel for every time a child named Maria has made me cry, I'd have 3 separate nickels.
Who's the other one aside from Sonic?
I love that you just immediately knew.
Yeah, I have fairly good intuition.
Just immediate. Maria from Metaphor Refantasio.
Hmm.
She has one of my favorite social links. She's so cute. I love her. I wonder if I'll be able to honestly shed tears on nights I feel like crying, to smile on gray nights.
Yes, you can. You can do it.
She can hear my thoughts?
After all, you also have what it takes to become a witch.
I mean, well,
I
that's
know.
her alter. So,
What it takes to become a witch.
I have what it takes to become a witch too. So I've still got a lot more studying and training to do. I'll definitely become a wonderful witch, flying in the sky on a broom, drawing rainbows with my cane, making candy fall from the sky.
Inflicting horrible traumatic deaths.
I can definitely do it. And I'll show you too. It'll definitely be like a scene from a wonderful dream.
I really want to know what Beatrice actually thinks of Maria.
mhm.
Because, like, Maria idolizes Beatrice. I want to know how much Beatrice actually cares about Maria. Maria One-chan said that, making an absolute promise with her smile. There's no way I can become a witch. But if Maria One-chan says that, it makes me feel that maybe I really can become a witch. Because, in reality, on that desolate night, when no flower of her smile could possibly have bloomed, her magic surely gave birth to a smile. I wonder if I can become a witch.
You can. You're a bit older, so your soul is bound a bit more by gravity. That might make training tougher than it is for me. But you definitely can. After all, you're already touching a small piece of magic.
The camera pans down and it shows her holding Magic the Gathering cards. Man? Magic?
Yeah? Come on, look. In a world where I don't exist, you summoned me and you're talking with me.
I thought that was just my trauma manifesting. He's like really self-aware about it. This is magic?
Yeah. You've expanded the fragment of my soul that I left in my diary, and you're reviving me right now.
To continue to do that, you must kill 13 people. What?
I also said it a short while ago, right? Since you managed to reunite with me and have a conversation, since you're able to smile every once in a while, you must have some magical talent, Angie.
I don't know why that sentiment really makes me happy. Since you're able to smile every once in a while, you must have some magical talent. I don't know why that sentiment really resonated with me right there.
Yeah.
Your Maria Oni-chan guarantees it.
You said it a second ago, Nate-chan. I thought I can only meet you while the diary is open, but you're really nearby all the time, right? If I had more of the power of magic, would I be able to see you? And just like now, would I be able to talk with you, Nate-chan? Anytime? God, can you imagine the look she got if she was talking to the ghost of her dead cousin?
Yeah, we can talk at any time. I'm there by your side to say good morning, and even during class. Let's talk together during dull classes to distract you from your boredom.
Loud?
I'll also be there to talk to you during meals, so let's always be together like this during lunch break. We're with you after school too, and of course I'm always by your side after you return to the dormitory. It's just that you don't see me, except when the diary is opened.
Okay. Sorry, I see bold text and I get worried about the implication. Even when I close the diary, Maria and Nate-chan, you'll be by my side, right?
Yes, I'll be there. So if you try to see me and try to talk to me, I'll definitely be able to answer. If you look strongly and try to talk, that is.
God, this would be so funny. I hope Maria takes on the role Virgilia did in episode 3 before it revealed that Virgilia is a bad guy. Where like Angie just summons Maria to be
There's no good guys and bad guys.
you know what I mean. Where Angie just summons Maria to be counsel.
Yeah.
That'd be so funny. I'll give it a try.
It isn't easy, okay? It isn't going to go well all of a sudden. Got it?
I understand. I'm sure it won't be easy. But I want to be like you, Maria One-chan.
I understand. And look at me well. Look closely.
Okay.
Slowly open and close your eyes. You can't shut them for a long time all of a sudden. After burning my form into your eyes, try to make it blend into the inside of your eyelids.
Being taught to create a tulpa of your dead cousin. Yeah, I'm doing it.
Once you can visualize me even when your eyes are closed, without changing anything, slowly and softly close your eyes again. How is it? Can you still see me?
Yes. I think I can probably see you. Wow.
And try opening your eyes for a second. Now for the real thing. Calm your heart and close the diary. At that time, my form may disappear for a second, but calm your heart and don't get anxious. And then try to make the me that's blended into the inside of your eyelids blend back into your eyes. Slowly visualize me in the empty air. In the empty air, see me.
Yeah, I'm okay. Then I'll close the diary. It's like Beetlejuice. This isn't Maria's trying to trick her into summoning her into the real world.
Mm.
Slowly, I closed it. When I did so, a gray reality filled with dull air unfolded. Of course, Maria Onechan's form disappeared. Give it all you've got. Have courage. Take the first step into the world of witches. I felt like Maria Onechan was cheering me cheering me on inside my heart. She's cheering me on. Really? Or do I just think she is? No, that's wrong. It's because that I think that it's it's because I think this that I cannot see her. Maria Nathan is always by my side. And even now, she's definitely there, cheering me on to do my best. That reached my ears. So I mustn't ignore it like it's my imagination or the voice of my own heart. I believe that Maria One-chan is there. I mustn't doubt. I believe. One-chan said she'd always be by my side. I must not doubt that. But looking at that empty space, by the empty back wall of the school building, amidst those almost heartlessly boring rays of sunlight, calling out her name was unexpectedly difficult. The chains of common sense that had clung to me until today sneered at me, telling me that calling out to the empty air was ridiculous. It was almost like being told to take a step forward off the roof of a skyscraper overlooking a sea of lights. Don't worry, you've already done that. It happened during the tea party? It's Maria One-chan saying it. It's alright. She's saying that I'm someone who can do it. Stop thinking that you might fall, or that it'd be foolish to take a step off a roof, and free yourself from those chains of common sense. Okay. I steadied my breathing. I concentrated my mind. Make the vivid form of Maria One-chan in the empty space before you rise to the surface. Understand magic. And see Maria One-chan. Maria One-chan! Huh? Is someone there? At that time, I was answered by a rustle in the bushes and a wild cry, and I came to my senses. It looks like I wasn't the only one behind the school building. No, since I've been so immersed in the world of the diary, I hadn't noticed someone coming. I recognized a group of 3 beyond the bushes. They were kids from my class. From their appearance, it felt as though they'd come behind the school building to gossip about someone or talk in secret. I hurried out of that place. Because if it became known that I'd been alone in a place like this, mumbling to myself, it'd become a pain again. She said it, right? She said it, right? She said Maria One-chan or something, right? Isn't that creepy? She isn't speaking spirits or something, is she? Ushurimiya sounds so funny. I could hear the shrill, loud laughter from behind. Irritated and feeling that Maria One-chan had been made fun of, I left that place at a quick pace, and then jogged once I turned the corner. And I might have made it to One-chan's world with just a little more time. It was frustrating, aggravating. Why does everyone get in my way? I haven't gotten in anyone else's way, not even once. I ran and ran, but it still felt as though I could hear their shrill laughter. world 12 years later, October 1998. Who the fuck is this guy? What the fuck? Who the hell is this dweeb? I want to bully this man so bad. I want to, like, just destroy this man's self-confidence. Just fucking look at him.
Rumor has it, Antu-chan, that you jumped off the top of a skyscraper.
No. The groupies were getting annoying, so I thought I'd give them the slip. Angie and an old gentleman wearing an expensive suit. That's an expensive suit. He got ripped off. We're alone in a massive modern conference room. All of the newest machines for presentations were installed there, but they didn't upset its refined and composed atmosphere. And that alone was enough to make the business-like theme of the room abundantly clear. However, that didn't matter at all to Angie. Is this the devil? She carelessly sat on a high-class chair that executives making a salary of several 10 million yen probably sat in, looking aloof from the world. It's because I knew they were remodeling on a lower floor and had a safety net out. Is this after the events of...
After the jump.
Yeah, so this is not... They're specifically talking about the post-Burn Castle jump.
Yes.
Okay. And she talked about it like it was no big deal. In reality, it had been a miracle among miracles. To think that she thought through several layers of safety netting for the remodeling project. Being caught in a multicolored banner during the atrium and flipped off, only to be softly caught by a final banner, land on the ground without a scratch, and then briskly leave that place. Fucking Queen! It put Hong Kong movies to shame.
Whether you knew there was a net or not, this is a 200-meter tall super skyscraper we're talking about, right? If things hadn't gone as you planned, there'd be a mess to deal with now.
I figured that if I died, then I'd be dead, and that would be that, more or less. Well, still, I was testing my luck a bit. Call it useful zeal. As I was saying that she'd had enough of that topic, Angie shrugged coldly. Seeing that, the old gentleman, who was looking at the world below through a crack in the blinds, cackled.
So you were testing your luck, is that it? My, you truly are Kinto-san's grandchild. The nerve to trust your life to chance. The chairman was also a woman who could stake her life on a bet like it was nothing, so maybe this really is the Ushiromi of blood at work. You really will make it big in the future. Please, let me be blunt. Why not give up this running away from home act and return to the Sumadera family?
I'm assuming that's Kirie's family?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
I don't know what kind of voice I'm giving him, by the way. I'm just...
Don't worry, it's generic man voice, it fits.
It's some guy voice.
I heard that Mom had a bad relationship with her family. I don't want to go to the house of people I first met at a funeral. Okay, I just had to keep that to myself for a bit. The Sumaderas are Mom's family. They're an old family from Kyoto, and compared to Mom's frank attitude, unbelievably strict. The only Sumada I'd been on good terms with was Grandpa, who was living apart from his family under the guise of retirement. Mom kept in touch with him too, but she avoided the rest of the family completely, almost hostilely so. So when I went out to play with the Sumadera family, it was always Grandpa's house I visited. When I was young, I didn't really understand it, but I hear that Grandpa was in an extremely weak position, as a man who'd moved into his wife's family register, and his relationship with Grandma was also bad. You might even say that Why am I having so much trouble speaking? You might even say that Grandma hated him and confined him to the house. It isn't hard to imagine that, because she had a soft spot for Grandpa alone. Mom was also hated by the Sumaderas. Since I was her daughter, they probably hated me quite a bit too.
Man, I'm thinking about this. I didn't really know anything about. I kind of just forgot about this bit about Kyrie's family because I didn't pay enough attention to it, and also I was like 14 when I first read it. But knowing stuff about Kyrie's family, about her parents, is really interesting.
It's just like, man, no wonder she turned out like that.
Yeah,
And yet, they appeared for the first time at Mom's funeral, shamelessly going on about how big I'd gotten, like they could actually act like family after all this time. When Aunt Ava died, I would inherit all the wealth of the Uchinomiya family. If that wasn't what they were after, there's no way they would have been able to say such disgusting words.
well, it's not as though I can't understand your desire for self-abandonment now that you're all alone.
This isn't self-abandonment. I'm just taking a carefree stroll now that annoying Aunt Ava has finally kicked the bucket. Everyone else is just making too big a deal out of it. Of course, everyone's after the vast Uchinomiya wealth I bear. They must think that becoming my guardian means they'll be able to do as they please with that wealth. How many people have tried to get close to me, acting like they want to be a substitute parent?
If you ever find that you're hurting, please talk with me if it will help, okay? After all, I think of you as my own grandchild, Enji-chan.
Who the fuck are you? Huh. I'll say no thank you for now. More, more importantly, let's return to what we were talking about.
Enji-chan, no matter how many times you ask, I'm hiding nothing. The chairman was the only survivor on Rokkenjima that day.
Homie looks like Homie looks like Satan. Homie looks like Satan disguised as a human in like a supernatural show. I don't fucking trust this guy.
Can you check the um the tips menu for that?
I don't think he's here. I didn't hear anything about it. Like I didn't hear the little sound cue.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess we could have. I mean, worth checking at least.
All right.
I'm sure they'll say his name at some point.
Yeah. You want to read Ava's what's it called?
Yes.
Obituary. Sorry, is the word?
Yeah. Yeah. After being repeatedly hospitalized because of psychogenic stress, she has already died in the world of 1998 due to acute heart failure. She lived her later years in isolation with no one to understand her, and is the only survivor from Rokkenjima. The media gave her the name Queen of Suspicion. She continued to make reckless expansions of her business, just like Kinzo had done in the past, which earned her many enemies. By her later years, she was doing it merely to harass people, as if she enjoyed it rather than for financial gain. And it was all done for the sake of Angie, who would eventually succeed her.
And then, wait, shit.
She really did become her father.
Yeah. Uchinomiya Angie, even after throwing herself off the top of a skyscraper, she miraculously survived unharmed. After that mystical experience, she threw away everything and went on a journey by herself to learn her past. Can she break through Beatrice's magic from her position 12 years in the future? And is there anything special?
You almost said it. You almost said Beatrice.
Oh. Okay. Oh my, there's 3 levels? Okay. Oh my, okay. Lambda Delta, the Witch of Certainty who has lived for 1,000 years. She thinks of Beatrice's game as a birdcage enclosing Burncastle. Her goal is an eternal tie. She'll ally with Beatrice as a general rule, but she'll support Battler when it looks like he's about to resign. Then, when it looks like Beatrice is about to be cornered, she'll start supporting the Witch again. The willpower of certainty is far stronger than the Endless, which just repeats over and over idly. And then, Beatrice lived 1,000 years, exceptionally cruel. Okay, yeah, we've read this one already. Yeah, that's also, we've read that one. Alright, the Endless Witch, Angie, the Endless Witch who will live for 1,000 years in the future. Or perhaps she's a hunter of witches, who will fell them all. Witches cannot be felled if they are not understood. Witches cannot be felled even if they are understood. To understand witches and yet deny them. Only this contradictory power gives her the blade with which to fell witches. And then... Alright.
Yeah.
To defeat, Rich in Miracles, who has lived for 1,000 years, to defeat Beatrice in her game, she threw in a piece called Angie. The Voyager witches who cross the Sea of Fragments are beings far superior to witches who cannot leave their own territories. While they may be on an even footing inside this territory, her true magical powers far surpasses that of Beatrice. What is sought by those witches who repeatedly voyage and attempt to escape boredom? And then the third one is this timeline. Oh my, we have 3 separate tips pages of characters to keep track of.
I'm telling you, 5D tests the multiverse time travel.
I do want to play it.
No, I'm comparing it to this.
I mean, yeah, it's fitting.
I myself know nothing. Everything's wrapped in darkness, you see.
This old gentleman was one of those leaders who had been entrusted with the business group Ava had built up after she passed away. One he called Chairman was the former Terran, Uchinomiya Ava. The company once had friendly ties with Hideyoshi's business, and he'd had a close relationship with both Hideyoshi and Ava. For that reason, when Ava lost Hideyoshi, he became the only person to whom Ava might have let her true intentions slip. Whenever Ava's heart was torn by the loss of her family, whenever she took it out on Angie, he had acted as the buffer between the two. So, although Angie didn't trust him, she found him a very easy person to question.
That crime was... no, that accident. If I call it a crime, I'll get in trouble.
Who?
I had the same questions about it as the public and the talk shows.
At the time of the accident, why was Aunt Ava in a place 2 kilometers away from the mansion all alone? And on the night of a storm. I'm here.
Back then, Kinzo-san wasn't sure as to whom he should select to be a successor. Officially, he decided on his son, Kraus-san, but he didn't have much trust in that man.
Valid. Oh, hold on. Okay. So to fairly determine a successor from among the 4 siblings, he made this game-like test called the Riddle of the Epitaph.
Ostensibly, yes. Kinzo-san probably planned to make Eva-san the successor from the beginning. He wanted to withdraw his own rule and the eldest son be the successor, and instead of Kraus-san, leave the family to the extremely diligent and brilliant Eva-san.
Yeah, well, fuck you. Rosa also got the answer to the riddle. She just arrived later.
The new rule about giving the inheritance to the one who solved the epitaph was probably nothing more than a farce to snatch the position of successor away from Kraus-san.
What do you mean by farce?
There was no need for anyone to solve that epitaph. Once it had been displayed for an appropriate amount of time, Kinzo-san could just call Eva-san, from whom he probably...
Sorry?
Can you...
Yeah, sorry.
Whom he truly wanted to succeed him, and give her the answer. In other words, that itself would provide proof of her succession to the headship.
This isn't something they've brought up on the talk shows, is it?
Well, once you bring up the succession of the headship, conspiracy theories tend to rise to the surface. I'm no fool myself. I won't go out of my way to say things that could invite misunderstandings, you see.
This was his theory. At that time, the Ushiromiya family head, Kinzo, whose remaining life was announced to be short, was troubled by the problem of who was to succeed him. Normally, the successor would be fixed as the oldest son, Kraus, whom Kinzo had chosen himself. But in his later years, Kinzo began to think that Ava would make a more fitting family head. However, Kinzo, who was stubborn even against himself, was stymied by the title of successor that he'd already given to Kraus. And he'd searched for an official stance by which he could skip over Kraus and select Ava as his successor. That official stance was the Riddle of the Epitaph. The primary successor was still Kraus. There was a new rule, saying that if someone appeared who could solve the riddle, they would be chosen as a successor to the headship. Then, on what would probably be his final family conference, Kinzo told Ava the answer to that riddle himself. In short, it was the same as proclaiming that Ava herself was the successor.
On that day, Eva-san was summoned by Kinzo-san, who revealed that answer to her. And so she could succeed the headship, he called Eva-san to this hidden mansion in Kodorian, which the head knew about.
Wait, hidden mansion? Oh shit. Wait, I know about that. Rosa was there.
Rosa was there.
And because Aunt Ava arrived at the hidden mansion one step ahead, she escaped harm in that accident, you say? Maybe Aunt Ava just killed everyone and made it look like an accident so she could steal all the wealth for herself. I mean, that's why only she escaped unharmed.
Well, that's what the papers are shouting about. However, I believe Eva-san.
You shouldn't.
I'd say there are several points that justify trusting her.
For example?
That ring of the Ushiromiya family had, which is on your finger now, Anji-chan. That ring is the only one of its kind in the world, which Kinzo-san had made specially. And the artisan who made it acknowledges that the object on your finger is, without a doubt, that ring.
The Ushinomiya family has a ring. A ring with the heft of gold and the one-winged seal on it. A diamond arranged on a pedestal, and felt both sturdy and reminiscent of the dark hobbies of the rich. Kinzo had worn that on his finger without removing it even for a moment. This man was saying that the fact that Ava had proof that Kinzo had acknowledged her as successor.
After all, Eva-san certainly did have that ring. And if you take into consideration that Eva-san actually was talented, and that Kraus-san had made a fool of himself several times on the business scene, I cannot imagine that Eva-san's story is completely made up.
Although there's a possibility that she murdered grandfather in order to steal the ring. Then Aunt Ava, using some kind of trick, massacred everyone and made it look like an accident.
Ah, yes. Seems the papers were saying something about her massacring everyone, with keeping all the wealth to herself as a goal. True, Eva-san was a person capable of holding back nothing when she was determined to accomplish something. Or she may have committed murder just once in her life, if a chance for keeping all the Yoshiromiya family wealth for herself presented itself. However, I don't think that happened.
So what's the second point that justifies your trust in her?
Eva-san's family. Hideyoshi-san and George-kun. It might be difficult for you to believe all of a sudden, Anji-chan, but Eva-san was a person who treasured family greatly.
Is that me, or... Oh, yeah. True, part of me didn't want to believe it or acknowledge it, but I did understand vaguely. Aunt Ava certainly had been a person who highly treasured her family. After all, the root of her twisted personality had been nothing more than the sadness of losing her beloved husband and son. After getting hit with her angry outbursts as she tried to distract herself from that pain, I have no feelings of sympathy at all. But it's not like I can't imagine how the incredible shock of losing her whole family must have changed her character. You're saying there's no way Aunt Ava, who loved her family, would throw away her husband and her son?
That's right. Even if Eva-san really was the culprit and massacred the entire family, making it look like an accident, she most certainly would have spared her husband and her son. She would quibble that, by coincidence, only her family had been in the hidden mansion. If Hideyoshi-san and George-kun had been safe, then even I would probably suspect Eva-san. I truly cannot imagine that Eva-san's wailing at Hideyoshi-san's funeral was an act.
Sounds like both points so far are just circumstantial evidence. That isn't the same as physically proving Aunt Ava's innocence.
If you say that, then you're stuck right away. Eva-san was the only survivor. And she says that this is the truth.
No one can prove her innocent.
Yes, that's right. And no one can prove that she committed a crime either.
That was proof. Hold on.
And
I'm so upset that this encoding thing keeps happening. Like, I've done everything I can.
yeah,
Alright, go ahead.
the final point that justifies trusting her is the police. After all, it was such a flashy crime. The police were being pushed forward by a public in an uproar over conspiracy theories, so they must have investigated Eva-san thoroughly.
I did think of that. During one of our episodes I was editing, we were like, why do they trust the police so much? Of course they trust the police. They're rich.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding? Of course. I'm not gonna say anything about recent events because I saw someone completely get banned for making statements about it.
Many such cases.
But I'm just gonna say, it makes sense that these rich people are so sure that the police will solve the crime of them and like their rich family members dying.
Mm-hmm.
Again, not making any statements on certain current events. Just saying it makes sense. It makes sense now.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes sense why in Higurashi there was an anti-police thing because they're like small town people.
Yeah. And the main cop character in it sucks.
Yeah, like yeah.
On reread, and with a lot more like political knowledge and knowledge of how to treat people. Yeah, that guy sucks.
It was easy to feel something unnatural about the claim that Eva had avoided the accident by coincidence. Because she alone had escaped to a hidden mansion. Furthermore, at the time, Hideyoshi's company had been right in the middle of a takeover struggle, and in order to buy off the big stockholders, she wanted a large sum of cash. Here, 1 second, I'm gonna pause real quick.
I'm only telling you this because it's coming up in about like very soon.
Alright.
Very soon.
Alright, sorry. Alright, we're back. I had to do a quick little, like, technical difficulty, fix. Hopefully, shit's gonna be working better now. But Rena dropped me a little fact. The guy she's talking to is in Higurashi, the previous game by this creator.
And the next game.
And the next game. He's a reoccurring character in the When They Cry cinematic universe.
Indeed he is.
Alright.
He's really funny.
Alright, let's just resume. Furthermore, at the time, Hideyoshi's company had been right in the middle of a takeover struggle, and in order to buy off the big stockholders, she wanted a large sum of cash. It shouldn't be too hard to find a motive there. But as a matter of fact, there had been nothing at all that implicated Eva if she went to the family conference. Nothing unnatural was found on her that could have been used to brutally murder her family and make it look like an accident. The servants who escaped harm by being off duty on that day also stated that they hadn't seen anything strange regarding anyone related to the event, Eva included. Putting all of that together, it could only be concluded that Uchinomiya Eva had headed to Rokkenjima for a normal family conference without any change, and had encountered an accident.
Police looked so intensely and they couldn't find evidence that it was a crime. They reached that conclusion themselves. Doesn't this resolve the Rokkenjima suspicion?
No. This means that the police couldn't find evidence that it was a crime, right?
There's nothing I can say to counter that.
There it is.
It's a devil's proof.
Let's fucking go!
To expose it as her crime, you would simply need to find evidence. But what could you possibly find to prove her innocence? It's impossible to prove a negative fact.
Did Aunt Ava commit a crime, or did she not? Because we can't find any materials that let us say for sure. Truth will remain a mystery. That's what you're saying, right?
That's it. Phrase it in a manner that you would prefer. That's what it amounts to. It was impossible even for Eva-san to prove her own innocence. On that island, an unfortunate... Oh, was that you?
Oh no, it's still you.
On that island, an unfortunate accident occurred, and Eva-san survived by chance. And we don't know any more than that. In short, it all comes down to whether you believe the story of the only survivor, Eva-san, or not. I believed the ring and her praiseworthy love for her family, and the tears she shed at the funeral. Taking all of that into consideration, I decided to believe her story.
But I don't believe. If she wanted to steal the ring, there were probably many ways for her to do it, and no one knows if her relationship with her family really was that good. No one can prove that tears at a funeral are real. Anyway, I hated Aunt Ava from the very beginning, but I don't even want to believe her. That's right, I'm biased!
How does one view the truth of the crime? You and I are on completely opposing sides. Even though the information we are given is exactly the same, we interpret it in completely different ways. This happens often in politics and business. The exact same enterprise will always be assessed in multiple differing ways. Do you know why?
Why?
It's a question of whether one has love. Whether you feel love for someone or not completely changes how you view them. If a person you like gives to the poor, you respect them for it, right? But if someone you hate starts donating, you fiercely protest that it's a publicity stunt or that they're handing out favors. No matter what they do or don't do, you thank them if you have love and criticize them if you don't. That's how the world works.
Can Aunt Ava be trusted, or can't she? You're saying that's all that really matters?
Those who suspect her will probably take anything she does or doesn't do and truly see it as something unnatural. And it works in reverse. As for me, I think that, barring certain extreme cases, the truth might not exist in this world at all. No, even if truth does exist, whether you believe it or not is determined by whether you have love or not. Can you really call truth without certainty truth? Even if Eva-san had been able to show physical proof that she had an alibi, would you have been able to believe it?
It's hard to counter that. I hate Aunt Ava, so I'll probably deny any information beneficial to her, and interpret any neutral information in a negative way. In other words, the truth is already decided inside me. So just what in the world is this truth that I'm still searching for and satisfied?
That's how it is. So no matter what you hear from me, since you still suspect Eva-san, for all this time, nothing will change. At the very least, even if you were to grasp a piece of hitherto unknown information, I don't think you'll be able to reach the truth the way you are now.
If I can't reach the truth?
After all, no matter what kind of new information or proof you find, Genji-chan, it won't change your stance that Eva-san is the culprit, right? So it's pointless to investigate anything more. Because the truth inside of you is already decided. However, you should stop assuming that to be the truth. If you wish to struggle towards the deeper, real truth, there is a single way.
Is he about to do a devil? Are you about to make a deal with the devil?
I believe I already mentioned it. But do you know what that is? What it is?
Is it love? I don't really know what you mean.
Right now, you're considering this under the assumption that Eva-san is the culprit. But that's no different than looking at something with a single eye. With one eye, no matter how much you squint, you cannot see an object in 3 dimensions, right? That's why we have another eye. And of course, it's in a different position from the first eye.
You're telling me to look at things based on the supposition that Aunt Eva isn't the culprit. Or else, that it was a real accident?
Yes, that's correct. When thinking about anything, you should always try to look at it from different perspectives. If you don't, you won't understand anything about what is real. It's the same with newspapers. You can't see anything from the single viewpoint of a writer who wrote an article in a single newspaper. Sometimes you can only process information composedly and in 3 dimensions when you read multiple newspapers.
God, if only... if only this was as only this was so as popular as it is in America than it is in Japan. If it's popular enough to get a fucking pachinko machine, why can't people here read this line?
Without love, the truth cannot be seen. You're gonna hear it many more times, by the way.
He has a point. The author has a point, and he's gonna beat it into our heads.
Sounds nice.
Maybe he thought it interesting.
Maybe. Oh.
Maybe he
I
thought
don't know why I said that.
Maybe he thought it interesting that such a flashy phrase would pop out of his mouth. For a while, he laughed, looking pleased. At the same time, he was telling me that he'd said everything he knew, and that it was about time to leave. I understood that and got to my feet.
I do understand your feelings, Anji-chan. You should do as you like for a while, until you're satisfied. You were 6 years old at the time.
You should do what you like until you're satisfied. I'm gonna travel backwards in time and then help my brother in an interdimensional chess game with my family's lives at stake.
I understand how you must feel after losing your family before you could even understand what that meant. Now you must still be unable to sort out your heart. You may learn the truth, and you may not. Eva-san may be the culprit, she may be a victim. I pray that you find the truth you believe in, Anji-chan. A journey at such a young age may prove to be a valuable experience.
You have no idea how valuable this experience is about to be. Thank you very much. I'm truly sorry to be such a bother when you're so busy. Okunogi-san. Read his bio, and it's just like involved in a strange case in a small town. Okunoki Tetsuro, a leading member of the Ushiramiya group. Between the time of Eva's death and Angie succeeding her positions, management of the group has fallen to core members like him in her stead. However, Angie has no desire to inherit that role, leaving the group on the brink of fracturing eternally and putting Okunogi in a difficult position. He was once the president of a foodstuff distribution company and had an intimate relationship with Hideyoshi's business. Because of that long-lasting association, Eva trusted him particularly, and he was appointed to an important post within the group. God, I'm having trouble talking.
No trouble, no trouble. What are you going to do now?
I said it already, I'm going to travel back in time. Well, whatever works. I've made appointments with several specialists and people related to the crime, and I plan to go visit them.
I see. I hope you find an answer you can accept.
At that time, company president Okunogi's secretary came in, handing him a memo over his shoulder. He read it, then looked between it and my face.
Anji-chan. My apologies that this comes right after telling you to try going on a journey. I have some information you should lend an ear to.
They found the culprit. What?
Looks like you're in a bit of a nasty fix right now.
saying you killed them all. People after my money? This is why money's stupid.
Yes, but if you sell off all of the wealth, trying to donate the whole sum to the public welfare, you'll make the eyes pop out of those people optimistic about their chances with your fortune.
Oh, the Sumadara family. God damn it! Those guys act so proud, like they're my guards or something. I haven't forgotten Aunt Ava. There's no way I put myself in the care of the Sumadara family. They probably want to, as Aunt Ava often threatened in the past. Cut off my arms and legs, throw me in a warehouse, and suck the Uchirimiya's family wealth dry. Alright? That was an often threat from Ava?
Apparently a messenger from the Sumadera family is coming here. They're saying to hand you over. No, that they want to protect you.
The fucking music. A messenger, you say?
It's your aunt. Kirie-san's younger sister.
Kirie has a sister?!
I believe she told me earlier that she thinks of you as a little sister.
Just looks exactly like Kirie. They it's the same sprite. They just didn't bother making a sprite for her. She's gotta be joking. At least call me a granddaughter, you old hag.
Judging from the context, it seems they have no wish to listen to your desires. I have a car waiting in the parking lot 2 stories underground.
What a fucking real one.
Go.
The Sumedara family is telling you to hand me over. Is it really okay to let me go?
You will definitely become something big in the future, Anji-chan.
Like maybe a witch or something.
Let us call this a favor to be repaid upon your success. Go, quickly.
After bowing silently and deeply, Angie left that place at a dash. After watching her leave, the female secretary straightened her glasses and whispered, "Fuck it up, Queen. Sumedara family told us to stall her. Is it really alright to let her go?"
We did stall her, more than enough. If they still don't make it in time, that's their own fault. I told Anji-chan to run for it. I informed the Sumaderas that Anji-chan would be coming. Whether she's caught or not, I will not be blamed.
What a fucking king. I rock with this guy. I know I was clowning on him earlier for his suit, which I still think is an ugly ass suit, but
It is. It really is.
like, what's that fucking tie color? Sorry.
The green bean. Everything in this world is love, you see. Don't worry, she'll escape. After all, that child's capable of leaping off a building to shake pursuers.
They hear a distant explosion. Like, okay, I think Andy's safe. Okunogi looked down again through a crack in the blind, muttering, "Nope, definitely couldn't do it." Angie wasn't a fool herself. She got off the elevator, but on the 3rd floor. Accessing the 2nd level of the basement? That's so neat and clean that I don't like it. It's probably better to refuse for now. But my enemies aren't fools either. They're probably waiting in the 1st floor lobby, as well as the underground parking lot. It's such a massive building. Instead of getting anxious and escaping outside, maybe it's better to stay inside and wait it out. No, that's useless. If they get their hands on a security room in a modern building like this, I'll have nowhere to run to. This entire building is like a massive dead end. The 3rd floor is the business floor. A young girl like me will clearly stick out. Trying not to stand out any more than I had to, I walked at a brisk pace, searching for an emergency exit. It'd be perfect if that staircase was an outside one. I found the door to the emergency exit. After opening that heavy door, I found the outside staircase I'd hoped for. I bumped into a man who looked like an employee skipping work and smoking a cigarette. After glaring at me, he quickly crushed his cigarette and went away. It looked like there was no one below. I'm gonna escape. Now's my only chance. Shit! Just when I thought that, a black car slid right over me and came to a sudden stop with an incredible squealing of the ears. Okay. Why is it lagging? It's a visual novel. Judging by the sound of the tires, it seemed that they had several other allies, and that one of them had come here to block this path. Not bad on Kasumi. Kasumi? I think you'd even send a car to pick up your little sister when she's trying to get out through the emergency exit. God bam! Doors of the car were forcefully opened, and 3 black-suited men jumped out, looking up at the emergency staircase. Crap, our eyes met. Wolf target found. Northwest side emergency stairs, 3rd floor, send support. Are they a fucking Yakuza family? What the fuck? Anji-sama, try not to move from there. Forgive our roughness. 3 of them began to clamber up the emergency exit. They've already announced that they plan to be rough. It's pretty bad. As long as I don't stop breathing, they've probably been ordered to grab me no matter what, even if they gotta rip out one of my arms. Clang, 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 clang. Heavy, wild footsteps became like helix and began to rise from the lower floors, getting closer. In the entrance lobby of the building, a woman with 7 black-suited guards behind her advanced at a leisurely pace. Seeing this ostentatious entrance, the security guard for the building ran up to them, asking if they had an appointment. I already hate her.
People. Don't you understand the status of the person you are talking to without having her just say her name?
I already hate her. My apologies. At our company, guests are to take a security...
Back down, scum. I came because I was called by your president. Call Okonoki Tetsuro here. Think he would call me here and then not welcome me? How typical of Tokyo people.
Fuck you. Well.
My apologies. Welcome to the Yoshiromiya Group, Sumadera Kasumi-san.
Ooh. Sumadera. God, why do I keep trying to say Dere? Kasumi. Daughter of the declining noble family, Sumadera. Just a quick little dunk on her. She despises her sisters, and by extension, Angie as well. She's the opposite of the freewheeling person Kirie once was, and holds appearance in high regard, possessing a strong ambition for philanthropy. However, this is all just a craving for the limelight caused by the complex she has towards her sister. There are several opposing factions of the Sumadera family. Why am I having some? And they're constantly engaged in a secret feud over who will control the vast wealth Angie holds. With his secretary behind him, Okunogi dashingly appeared from the elevator. Even though both of them wore bold smiles, they were wrapped in a tension reminiscent of the smell of gunpowder.
Where's Angie? I came to greet that adorable daughter of my big sisters. Strict observance of time is our motto here at the Yoshiromiya Group. The former chairman herself said that those who can't keep time can't keep contracts. You called me all the way to Tokyo, and this is all you have to show for it? You let her go, didn't you? Please, she escaped from us. We did stall her for quite some time. But unsurprisingly, she did eventually smell a rat. Of course, this wouldn't have been a problem at all if you had arrived on time, Sumadera-san.
Get your ass!
These provincials and their loose concept of time.
Your ass. Battler would love this guy.
What was that? What did you say to me?
You heard me. You didn't sense any of Kirie's open frankness in Kasumi's face. She wore the arrogance of the ancient Sumadera family towards the ruined Ushiromiya family. As well as pride, because she didn't want anyone to notice that her family was declining so much they couldn't ignore the Ushiromiya family's wealth. Even at a glance, it was easy to understand why Angie hated her aunt so deeply. couldn't stand even a slight insult, and though she still smiled, her eyebrow twitched. At that time, the black-suited man behind Sumi whispered to her. Anti-Sama has been found. We are currently dealing with her.
Oh, I'm glad we made it inside. Thank you, Okanogi. It seems I can finally take my mischievous niece home. I waited so long to talk with that girl in my tea room, with all the tools prepared.
Well, fuck you, me by that. Clang, 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 clang. As the violent sound drew a helix, it rushed up at me from below, threatening to swallow me up. Of course, even if I fight, there's no way I'll be able to win. And yet, running into the building would be like jumping into a dead end of my own accord. My enemies will increase in number with time. If I don't do something here now, I won't have any more chances to escape. Then, 3 muscular black-suited men came into view below me. 1, 2, 3. 3 people. In other words, 3 people. Everyone who had gotten out of the car. Which can hold 3 people. Like, if there had been just one of them, I might have been able to dropkick them or something and smash them in the head, which might work out. It'd be impossible with 3 of them. 3? If there's just 3, I should be able to make it. I can do it! There's 3 people here! Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Idiot, stop! Go! Ah! Oh my god, she just jumped off onto the car, you're sick as shit. Oh, I'm calling 12. Is the package secure? We received a response. What happened? Respond! She's crazy, damn it! Crazy bitch, jump! Ow! See, that worked out perfectly, didn't it? There's just the 3 of them after all. Already tried that once from a higher place. I knew I'd be able to jump down just 3 floors. Oh my... Good thing the car they came in was right beneath me. Even if it wasn't as pleasant as a trampoline, it broke my fall. A little gently, a little roughly. How rude. You didn't have to do that much. The roof of the car broke my fall, leaving a massive dent around my body. Roofs are surprisingly delicate. I don't think it's because of my weight. Apparently, the 3 people on the stairs hadn't planned on me jumping down. They think that they now realize that they've been outwitted, and they were rushing down the stairs. I've got to run and escape while I have the chance. I move my body, making clunking sounds on the car roof. But I've been naive.
You like music?
Oh yeah, this music fucking rules. Of course they wouldn't all rush up the stairs without leaving one person behind. There was one black-suited man left in the driver's seat of the car that had broken my fall, and he looks fucking terrified. He stuck his head out the window, and when he realized what had fallen on him, he jumped out. In a rush, I jumped out the roof, but the black-suited man's reaction was really fast. Either there was a massive reward for capturing me, or there'd be some harsh punishments in store for them if they let me get away. Being scared. Ow, ow, ow! Don't touch me like that! Let go! I was mercilessly held down against the asphalt. I was being crushed face down, covered and pressed upon from above. It was a hold without a trace of elegance, but it's extremely practical and left me no room for resistance. I tried to push back with both hands, searching for a way to resist. But I was being pushed down solidly, and I couldn't even tear myself off the asphalt. Then another car came, swinging its tires as it slid to a sudden stop. It all over now? Ah! The men that had been crushing me let out a sharp cry. It was yelling straight into my ear, making my left ear ring. What in the world? Along with that black suit guy, I fell with a thump. After landing face up, the first thing I saw was an arm stuck out right in front of my eyes. Amakusa? What are you doing here? What the fuck is this guy? Let's talk about that after we've lost them. Go on, quickly, lady. Do we get an introduction to this fucker? I'm going. Okay, no, we don't. No introduction. Amakusa grabbed my arm, easily pulled me up, spinning me around with himself as the center of gravity. Wait, is this guy a fucking friend of Battler? He got the fucking.
No, I think whoever designed him Took a lot of inspiration from the Gothic Leda Bible.
Hmm.
This is true, actually.
Spinning around with himself as the center of gravity. This one I thought was a little like a dance. He flung me through the open door into the driver's seat. I climbed over the handbrake and slid into the passenger seat. Jimmy and Amakusa also got into the driver's seat. Once we suddenly accelerated while still on all fours, I had to kick and struggle around on the chair for a while, like a turtle that's been flipped over. Amakusa checked the rearview mirror for cars in pursuit, but he flew into the artery of the big city without lowering his speed in the slightest. What the fuck is going on? We sewed our way between cars one after another. It's like a chase scene in some action movie. I was shaken by this horrible driving and had trouble sitting back down. Are you hurt, lady? I'm fine. These are surprisingly durable. Next time I try to escape a downward moving elevator, I'll jump out a window instead. Because air dives are hobbies of yours, lady. Still, I'd recommend you grab a parachute next time. Sure, if I remember to do it after leaping. Cool! Alright! Smack the steering wheel, guffawing. An explanation for this flippantly talking man? Yes, I do! His name is Amakusa Juza. Who's originally one of Ava's guards. Did we just get it? Yeah, okay. Oh my god, look at this guy's drip! What? Also, he's built like a brick shithouse. Look at those fucking shoulders. What? A former guard of Ava's, he's fundamentally a thrill seeker, willing to take on dangerous jobs for very little pay. At one point, he did work as a guard for Angie, but after repeatedly violating Ava's strict orders not to speak to her, Ava grew to dislike him and fired him. Angie seemed to not mind having him around, as he would often chat with her. This man, who has traveled between the Japan Self-Defense Force, the Foreign Legion, and non-government military companies, has skill in counter-sniping and protecting VIPs. Did she start to hate him because he chatted too much? He was much younger than the rest of the guards, but contrary to his outward flippancy, he'd hopped from the 1st Airborne of the JSDF to the French Foreign Legion, placing himself in overseas private military companies and high-class security companies, one after another, making for a pretty incredible and unique career. But he'd heard he deserted both the JSDF and the French Foreign Legion, and that he'd be arrested if he enters France again. This guy fucking rules, what? So these flippant episodes were very typical of him. The guards were sternly told not to chat with me unnecessarily, but he came and took a pass at me, didn't he? Aunt Ava was apparently particularly put off by that, and had supposedly dismissed him shortly before she died. Well, okay, at least she had some sense. An adult making a pass at a minor is bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while since I've heard that carefree tone. What happened after you got fired? I was coaching some people at Blackwater. When I came back to the country during my time off, President Okanogi offered me a high wage. He deserted again. I wonder how a man like that can be useful for anything. I don't count as desertion as long as I come back by next week. I talked with him yesterday. I was told that some troublesome people might come to call on you, lady. Sorry, that turned out to be exactly right. My name probably came up since I know you, and I've got lots of crazy experience. To you, it looks like I'm in for a happy vacation plus some pocket money. So Okanogi-san employed you as my guard. He probably wants to buy some gratitude from you, lady. After I got fired, I was indebted to President Okanogi in various ways. He's got some dirt on me here and there, and now I can't say no to him. Seems like getting indebted to Okanogi-san could be pretty costly later on. So, where are you planning on taking me? Anywhere. I'm employed until the weekend. Anything after that'll cost you extra. How much per day? I'll take 50,000. It's expensive. Now 50,000 yen or 50,000 American? Stop cracking jokes, I'll pull it. period of employment isn't fixed yet. It might take several weeks. That'll be tough. I have to call my boss to get an extension on my vacation. More than anything, I want to investigate that fate. Oh, is this about Rokkenjima? Exactly. What happened on that like 12 years ago? I want to investigate it with my own hands to my satisfaction. You really expect to find anything new investigating something that old? True. This is a journey for my own self-satisfaction. Once that's over, I'll just throw my hands up and go over to the Sumatara family. Didn't Akasumi say something about how she wanted to serve me some matcha? Maybe she'll serve me tea as I kneel on a sharp wooden box, clutching stones or something. That sounds freaky. I fucking rock with this dude.
Mm-hmm. He's interesting. Arrested if he ever enters France again. That's so funny.
That's such a great thing. Let's end it there.
Okay.
God, that was great. That was fucking amazing. This is fucking going places.
Yeah. How do you feel about Kirie's sister?
I already hate her.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's good to know that jealousy just runs in that entire fucking family, apparently. Alright. Alright, thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Umineko. Shit's getting
Yay.
wild. Shit's getting so wild.
So good.
I hope you'll join us next time. Bye for now.